I couldn't stand the betrayal any longer. The sight of my wife laughing with him, the stolen glances, the lies, it all became unbearable. I wrote a letter, each word heavy with the truth she had refused to face, laying bare every deception, every hidden betrayal. I left it on the kitchen counter, neatly folded, and vanished without a trace, leaving nothing but the note behind. No calls, no messages, no explanations. Just silence. The suspense of my disappearance rippled immediately through her world. I wanted her to realize the weight of her choices, but I knew it would take time. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. She searched for me frantically at first, calling friends, family, even my workplace. The suspense stretched unbearably, each unanswered attempt a reminder of the consequences she had set in motion. She tried to act normal, to laugh in public, but the shadow of my absence hung over every interaction. The letter remained unopened, a ticking time bomb she refused to acknowledge. My departure had already shaken the foundations of her life, yet she remained blind to the full impact, the twist of realization still years away. Months later, she began to feel the emptiness. Friends noticed the change, colleagues whispered about her distracted demeanor, and subtle cracks appeared in the life she had thought so secure. Every familiar comfort now felt hollow, every interaction tinged with the suspense of missing pieces. She glanced at the counter countless times, the folded letter staring back silently. The twist of guilt began to creep in, though she refused to acknowledge it fully. She could sense the consequences of her actions, but the full weight remained hidden until the moment she finally opened the note. Years passed, and she had almost forgotten the letter, tucked away in a forgotten drawer, buried beneath other mundane papers. Her life had become routine, a fragile illusion of normalcy. The suspense of my silence persisted like a ghost she couldn't shake, though she rarely allowed herself to confront it. One rainy afternoon, cleaning her old drawers, her hand brushed against the folded paper. Something compelled her to open it. The suspense of anticipation hit her immediately, every heartbeat echoing the unknown. She had no idea what she was about to discover, how her world was about to shatter entirely. As she unfolded the letter, her eyes scanned the words, each sentence striking with precision and clarity. I recounted every lie, every betrayal, every instance of her deception with cold, unflinching honesty. The suspense turned into shock as realization hit her fully. I had known, I had seen everything, and I had chosen to leave silently rather than fight. Each word carved guilt deeper into her soul. The twist was devastating. My silence had been the punishment, my absence the consequence, and the letter, finally read, became the ultimate reckoning for all her past actions. She dropped the letter, trembling, tears streaming down her face. The suspense now became unbearable as she tried to piece together what had happened in my life since I vanished. She realized the life she thought secure, the love she had taken for granted, had ended years ago, silently, without drama, without confrontation. The twist deepened. I had walked away not out of anger but with clarity, leaving her to confront herself, her choices, and her guilt alone. She was forced to face the truth she had evaded for so long, and it broke her completely. Her friends and family noticed the shift immediately. The confident, flippant woman they had known now seemed haunted, her laughter hollow, her gestures uncertain. The suspense of her unraveling became visible, a slow-motion collapse fueled by the revelations in the letter. Every word I had written resonated, each truth echoing in her mind, leaving her with no escape from her conscience. The twist solidified. My departure had rewritten her reality. The consequences of betrayal had arrived years later, silent, precise, and utterly inescapable, leaving her to reflect on everything she had lost. She began to retrace the timeline of our marriage, seeing the betrayals in full clarity for the first time. The suspense of her own realization consumed her, hours spent rereading the letter, connecting dots she had refused to see before. Every decision she had made, every flirtation, every lie, now felt monumental. The twist was crushing. She had thought her actions were inconsequential, but the silent punishment of my disappearance and the finality of the letter proved otherwise. Her life, built on deception, had been quietly dismantled by one calm act of leaving. Weeks after reading the letter, she tried to reach me, desperate for answers, desperate for reconciliation, but the suspense remained unbroken. I had vanished completely, leaving no trace, and the letter had delivered the ultimate reckoning. The twist endured. She could regret, she could plead, she could cry, but nothing could undo the consequences. I had taught her a lesson in absence, in silent justice, in how decisions ripple through time. Her heartbreak, her shock, and her remorse became a permanent echo of the moment she finally read the truth. Years later, she still carries the memory of that letter, the suspense of its revelation, and the weight of my choice. Her life, shattered and humbled, serves as a constant reminder of betrayal's cost. The twist remains unforgettable. Silence can be more devastating than confrontation, absence more powerful than rage. My calm exit, paired with one letter, had rewritten her world, leaving her stunned, heartbroken, and eternally aware that every choice has consequences she cannot undo. The lesson lingers. Some truths are best felt in the silence that follows.